It's Taran Sham from Outsourcing Live, and welcome to a dedicated channel where I talk about outsourcing and share with you my strategies on how to outsource a business. In today's video, I want to share with you my top 5 tips on how to be able to outsource for software and IT. Now, this is a very common question because a lot of people are not very technical and a lot of people don't know and understand how all the nitty-gritty stuff works with, say, like WordPress and building a website and all that kind of stuff. Now, if that's you, which I know there's a large population out there and a lot of people don't know about all this stuff, you need to outsource it. And this is why I wanted to share with you the top 5 tips on how to be able to do that and give you some really insights on how I've been able to do it as well, because nowadays I don't do any of my IT stuff. I've got it all outsourced to my full-time programmer and I let him handle all those things for me. All right, so the first thing I want to share with you, I've got it written down, is the first tip I want to give you is make sure that whenever you're outsourcing any technical stuff, such as a website, such as creating IT software, or anything related to those things, you need to be very clear and concise with what you're going to do. Now, when I say clear and concise, I mean actually writing out a wireframe and giving this person that you're going to be outsourcing it to the specific exactly layout, the color schemes, the wireframes, everything that you can think of in the fine detail, because one, that will save you so much time later on instead of having to go back and forth to make changes, and two, it's clear for both parties, especially when you're dealing with people who are virtual. So that's one, and the first tip that I recommend is to be extremely concise with what you're going to be doing. Now, second one is to make sure that you do set deadlines. Deadlines are very, very crucial in terms of getting your work done, because the fact is, a lot of the times when you're outsourcing to people, if you don't set a deadline, the IT person will spend all day long fixing up bugs. And if you don't have a deadline set or milestone set or any boundaries behind it, they'll just keep working and working and working until they charge you really when you don't have any money left. So be very careful with that. I personally have had that issue, and when I was first working with my first Indian programmer, I wasn't specific enough and I didn't set a specific time frame. And when that happened, he just kept fixing up problems, fixing a problem, and never ever got anything done and just kept charging me for it. So just be very careful with that. Now, the third thing is when you do get your software back or your website back, whatever it is, make sure you test it through thoroughly. Now, when you're testing through thoroughly, make sure it works. That's the first thing. And then second thing is just make sure that when you've asked them to do a certain way, that they've understood it and implement the way that you want it as well. That's very crucial, because the fact is that a lot of people just get the website back, go, yep, I expect it to be all working, and then hopefully get it out in the market. Now, that's a big mistake. Before you do actually finalize your payment and pay this person who's outsourced it to, make sure that you thoroughly test it, because if there are any bugs, then you want to go back and get it fixed. And what I mean by a bug is just errors or messages that shouldn't be popping up and so forth. So you need to make sure that's been fixed up. Now, if you do have any of those things that come up, then you want to make sure that you have in your contract or your agreement with your outsourced IT person or outsourced software man, whoever you're going to, that they allow for that period of time to do it. And usually it could be anywhere between 3 or 4 days to get it fixed, or many hours, depending on what you agree upon. So make sure that's another point there. The fourth point that I want to share with you about outsourcing to IT is make sure that you communicate with them using a screen capture software. The best way and the quickest way is to pull up a screen capture software, and a popular one that I've recommended is Jing Project. It allows you to record up to 5 minutes of screen capture for free, and they even store it online for you. Or another one is called Screencast-O-Matic, and that allows you to record up to 15 minutes of screen capture. And it's very easy. You just get a mic, you have your screen on, and basically it'll record everything that you do on your screen. And all you need to do is, if you've got a mouse and a cursor, just simply point to exactly where you need to change and just tell them and show them. Then that way, when you send the work back to change this and that, it'll get fixed up and they'll understand it clearly. I found that email doesn't work for me. I've received many emails back and forth from programmers, and every time they point to that, I send yes, change that, and then they come back with something different. So you don't want to waste your time doing that. Make sure it's clear. And then final thing that I want to give away to you is make sure that you do set your expectations to reduce the amount of risk. Now, what I mean by setting expectations is at the beginning, before you do start this project, you can say to them, look, I have a budget. Budget might be $500 to get this website done. and I have a set time frame that needs to meet 1 month maximum. Now, if you say to them, look, in 1 month's time, if you have it completed earlier than that, then that's fine. I'm happy to pay you the $500, and you don't need to worry about anything else, and make sure the bugs are fixed. But if it do go over time, which more than likely it does with any software outsourcing, is that you need to tell them, look, if you do go over time, I'm not going to pay you on time, and furthermore, on top of that, you're going to have to actually cover those costs that I lose on getting that project delivered. By setting that kind of expectations, it really forces them to make sure that they're clear about getting their project done. And if they know that they're delayed, it's their fault, not yours. So you've really set the table clear and open for that. Alright, so those are the 5 tips, the top 5 tips that I recommend with outsourcing software, because the fact is that it's such a common thing. A lot of people just prefer to actually get their technical stuff outsourced, like myself, and if you can, don't do it yourself, just get someone else to do it for you. And those are some of the things that I recommend you make sure that you're clear off when you are outsourcing IT and software. Alright, thank you so much for watching this. I wanted to actually also ask you a question. What is the biggest frustration that you've had that I could help you with? Simple as that. What is your biggest frustration that you've had with outsourcing IT, and how I can help you with that? Or I should probably answer that question, but you tell me what your biggest frustration is. Alright, so just feel free to leave it down below, and love to be able to interact with you and help you and assist you with any of that type of outsourcing as well. Alright, my name's Tyron Shum from Outsourcing Live, and remember, as always, just outsource it.
Now, if you like more resources like this one, you can find them inside Mass Outsource Mastermind, along with video tutorials and step-by-step instructions showing exactly how I use them. To get a 30-day, no-risk trial membership to Mass Outsource Mastermind, simply visit freevideoset.com. Until next time, I wish you success in your quest for outsourcing.